Let's talk about what could be between Nvidia and an additional $50 billion in H200 sales this year could be the US Defense Department. For context, Nvidia's H200 chips are part of the Hopper generation that are 2 generations behind the current Rubin architecture. But until recently, they were completely banned from export to China. Dating back to 2022, Biden's strategy on winning the AI race with China was a total restriction on chip exports. They created a speed limit for chips measured by total performance processing. And if a chip was too fast at training AI, it was banned from export. This instantly hit sales for Nvidia, with their $4.6 billion in revenue per quarter going down to nearly $50 million, while additionally wiping out Nvidia's market share in China from 95% to nearly zero in just a few years. Meanwhile, Huawei developed a competitor to Nvidia's CUDA software, which reached a 90% scaling efficiency, meaning their lesser chips are training LLMs at speeds that rival those of US clusters running on restricted H100 chips, allowing Huawei to close in on their domestic market quickly, projecting over 50% market share by the end of 2026. So in December 2025, Trump lifted the export ban, but in exchange for a 25% surcharge paid directly to the US Treasury, which would in turn provide billions in funding to build US fabrication sites. Structured as a 25% revenue cut and not a tariff, it was framed as a licensing fee due to national security concerns. But critics argue that it's more of a tax rather than just a fee, and one that didn't go through congressional approval, and secondarily would incentivize the US executive branch to approve the sales, even if the state and defense departments had security reservations. And while the H200 export ban reversal started with the president negotiating the terms and signing the executive order, it would be the Senate that would review any security implications, with the state and defense departments having the ability to refuse to sign off on the technical details, such as whether the chip's off switches are truly secure enough. But while this all pans out, Nvidia's window to re-enter the Chinese market may be closing. Huawei's Ascend chip now delivers a TPP of over 5,000, leading Jensen Huang to say himself it's probably comparable to an Nvidia H200 at this point. And at scale, Huawei's 384 system can deliver 300 petaflops of compute, which is comparable to Nvidia's 72 chip rack system. All the meanwhile, the Chinese government is pouring subsidies into Huawei software, so that even by the time the H200s could arrive, Chinese developers are already locked in on domestic hardware.